I just don't want to be around people who have blades for shoes. Like, if I see someone with blades for shoes, I'm gonna like, I don't want to F with this person. I assume you have blades on your shoes because you're trying to hurt someone. That's what blades on the shoes tells me. Here we are, wonderful senseis, the full playthrough and commentary of the ranked Downpour goal, where you need to get 17,500 points in one run through with the museum. Let's get into it. There are so many visuals in the museum that you should like check out and be a fan of. There's so many like allusions to you know, the boss's life history, their twin sister. There's just so much cool stuff I encourage you to like take a look at throughout this level. It's definitely the like most aesthetically pleasing level, I think. So you can see from the beginning, remember one of the tips I have here, and you should check out the tips and tips video for sure, is that you know, you shouldn't use a weapon. It does too much damage, and I'm pretty sure you can milk more points with just your fists, but I got this goal by accident. It was an early run through. I wasn't aiming to get this goal, and I ended up getting it even though I used weapons. Now, the advantage to using weapons a lot, though, is that by doing more damage and thinning fighters out more quickly, you are probably going to keep your multiplier at ×3. So there's this real balance of like, you know, wanting to keep your multiplier up while keeping guys alive as long as possible, because that's going to really maximize your points. But I was just going for the goal, not for breaking any records. So I used a weapon. I used takedowns when I didn't need to. And those are all things that you could think twice about in order to really like milk fighters for all their points. But, you know, in these rooms with only 2 guys, you really want to milk those as much as you can. There's some strategies in some of my other videos for milking for points, but yeah, you want to avoid takedowns. Don't use a weapon as much as I do here, and that will really help you think about, yeah, just really milking all these guys for all the points they're worth, which doesn't sound great when I say it out loud. All right, let's go to level 2. Of course, you don't use any shortcuts. You need to find every fighter in the entire level, and you need to eliminate all of them, because that will, of course, help you get a lot of points. And this is sad, because I usually, in this place, I really like throwing this guy off the balcony. But, oh, rough. I think I use a Mighty Calbit here, because I need to get my multiplier to ×3, and that's a huge tip. You really want to unlock the Mighty Calbit for all of these sort of, excuse me, all of these multiplier and points-based goals. Oh, adios, my friend. It was good knowing you. Your hat's cool. Mine's cooler, but whatever. Alright, still on the second level here. This one, again, you know, you may be better off without a weapon and throwing all these lights at them, but I got this goal by accident in some ways. But these are both Sean's disciples, so this would be a lot harder room, like that room in the club with the twins, who are both Sean's disciples in a tiny little room. But this is a big room, so it gives you a lot more opportunity to get him. You can see that his stagger or structure bar. Ooh, oh my god, he just really did some damage. Yeah, so avoid the takedown there. I could have done some sweeps to do a little more damage there. But yeah, we know this guy's combos. On that third one, we can deflect. And that's one way. What you just saw is throwing him around with square and X on PlayStation 5 and then hitting square after that, which I think, yeah, those sort of rapid punches, that's a way you can really milk points because you're actually getting points and doing very little damage. So something to think about. In this room, I got a knife, which, you know, does quite a bit of damage. But, you know, you want to thin them out and then you want to milk them for points. So ideally what I would have done is after getting rid of maybe one more person and focusing on them to get rid of them, like right now, I certainly would want to milk points. Like I wouldn't want to do a takedown, probably wouldn't want to use a knife, would just want to use my fist to try and milk points. One thing I'm curious about, if anyone knows, Do you know if, like... Yeah, there's gotta be ways to get the most points out of a guy, and that must include doing as little damage as possible and keeping them as alive as possible. Because there's no way, if you stab a guy and kill him with, like, one move, there's no way that's as many points as, like, hitting them with your fist for 5 minutes, right? I think that's probably pretty obvious. But if anyone's done that math, I'd be really curious to look at it. So this is kind of nice because they come in waves a little bit. Ooh, I did get someone to turn into fire rage mode. So that's really, really great. You always want to do that. So you can see here this guy in this sort of blue shirt is someone who has the ability to turn into fire rage mode, and that's really great. They get all their life back. They can take ton of damage, which means a ton of points for you. And you can see I thinned everyone out. I had the fire rage mode guy, and I milked him for points. I'm milking a lot of people in this, as you can see. All right, here we are. Level 4. Again, you can't leave any fighter unturned. You got to verse everyone. That includes the person guarding the mighty Calbit in this area, which is like a throwback to sloclap's last game. Oh, so I took a hit there, which I don't appreciate, but I'm also not surprised. Ooh, 2 hits though. That's not cool. Yeah, you know, this is a tougher fighter, another one of, like, with a lot of Sean Disciples moves. I've got my bat because I really want that staff for the next part of the run-through. But you can see I'm avoiding that takedown. Ooh, I dropped the bat. See, that's what you need to do. How do you do that? You hold triangle? I forget all of a sudden. Maybe it's holding L1. But you can drop a weapon, and you just want to get used to doing that, right? Because now I'm going to be able to milk this person for more points. Oh, sweep the leg, Johnny. I'm going to be able to milk this person for more points because I'm not using a weapon. So that's why I said one of my tips is you need to, like, fight your urges to not use weapons and takedowns and not just eliminate enemies as fast as possible. You know, that's what you can do, especially if you know your multiplier is not at ×3 the whole time. Wow, this was not an easy fight for me. Mighty Calbit, ×3. And I'm pretty sure you get a lot of points when you finally, or like slightly more points when you finally knock a fighter out, take them down, eliminate them, whatever. So keep that in mind as well. Give me that staff. And that section right there, that's where you unlock the Mighty Calbit. There's a mask right there you just need to stare at for a couple of seconds. And it'll unlock the focus move Mighty Calbit, which is huge for these points goals, as well as the like goals where you need to use you need to keep a ×3 multiplier like through an entire room or entire combat scenario. All right, so this room, let's talk about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 fighters. 2 of them are big guys. Forward square is the most amazing move with a staff because it pushes someone really far back and disarms them. It's my go-to move in this room because almost everyone except the 2 big guys have a weapon. So I want to disarm them, but this is also where I want to really just try and thin them out. This person who has this sort of marbly shirt and blue hair, they are a pretty tough fighter. They have more life and more moves than your like regular standard run-of-the-mill fighter. So typically this is what ends up happening. I've got the 2 big guys, the marble shirt person, and I'm just trying to milk them for as many points as I can. But it's tough because with these 3, you can see I get hit. My multiplier is at ×1 for way longer than I would like it to be. I needed to use a takedown. I'm losing life. I actually think I die here. But the 2 big guys, this is your real opportunity to milk it. Like, you really want to keep your multiplier at ×3 and milk it. I died. And it's totally cool if you die. It's not that big of a deal. Just like if you lose your ×3 multiplier for a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. This level is quite forgiving in terms of getting that high score, whereas if you watch the club video, which you definitely should, that's a lot less forgiving. You need to like do a lot more right in the club to get that 22,000 something points. So there you have it. So yeah, now I am gonna milk it with this combo of moves, the pushing and then the rapid strikes. That's one way you can try and milk as many points. Like I said, it keeps them alive and doesn't do a ton of damage, but does accumulate points. But again, that's where I want to know, does it actually accumulate more points than just taking them down at that point? That's some math I wish was a little bit more clear, but at the end of the day, like the simplest thing here, right, is you need to do as much damage as possible with a ×3 multiplier as long as possible. So in that last room, there were plenty of knives, and hopefully you know at this point that this is a guy, if you're just trying to get through this level without worrying about your multiplier or points or just want to eliminate him as fast as possible, that when you have a knife and you walk up to him, he'll give you plenty of time to hold triangle and do a one-move stab that kills him instantly. And that's good. There are places you can deflect here. Now remember, defense doesn't keep your multiplier and score up. Really only doing damage does. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Yeah, all of those hits, none of them gave me any points, and my multiplier trickled down throughout it. So, I think that, oh god. Ow. Dude. Ow. Knee to the face, kick to the face, punch to the... Oh, like I said, it's not the perfect run through. It's not the perfect run through. You can probably do better. You probably are right now. Wonderful. Well done, Sifu. Almost Sifu. I guess I'm a Sifu at this point, I would say. Probably the best Sifu. Just kidding. Oh, alright, here we are. One of these rooms, I'm pretty sure you can go in and there's some cool art in it. I use weapon durability because, again, it's not really what you need to go for this particular goal of getting as many points as possible. I was doing this just on like a run through where I wasn't necessarily trying to get all the points. Okay, this room. What a fun room this is. So, lots of fighters. Lots of weapons, lots of opportunity for points. So what I would focus on in this room is the first wave is pretty small, so you want to milk that. You don't need to thin them out. You just want to kind of milk them for as many points as you can. Now this next wave, it's more fighters, and they kind of keep coming, and a few of them have knives. So you do want to thin them out. I typically do that with a knife, because part of thinning them out is eliminating targets so that you can keep your multiplier up and reduce the risk of basically getting hit because there are so many fighters. Thank good for that like invulnerability window when you're taking someone down. That guy like laced into me just then. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fighters right now. Some of them might disappear in a second here, but yeah, I'm going to do takedowns. I'm going to keep thinning them out. Oh man, how did I not see that coming? Mighty Cowbit. Ooh. Taunted you. Ooh. And then she swipes me right back. Well, can't say I didn't deserve it. Ooh. 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 Okay. Okay, good. Good. Okay, now they disappear, and it's a big guy and two... I don't know what we call the characters with these moves. I'm sure they have a name. There's plenty of them here, and you meet them in the club. But yeah, so I'm going to call them the spinny kick fighters. These spinny kick fighters are, yeah, my tip would be to thin out a little bit here. You can see I like thinned out by getting rid of the big guy pretty quick. And then after that, I mean, this isn't an easy fight. It's really not an easy fight. I just kind of survived it. Clearly not trying to get a ton of points from these two. I think I'm just trying to sort of choose my moments, and because clearly I'm not like focused on one to thin them out. I think I'm just trying to focus on getting my multiplier up and then doing damage because they just have a lot of life, and that means a lot of points. So good taunt there to get to ×3. Hopefully I don't get kicked. Wow, that was really good. Well, I don't want to say really good. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff, but I struggle with sweeps. Like anytime there's a sweep, I hope that I avoid up and do a good job of opening up that vulnerability window, but I often don't. All right, this is maybe the most. This is the the section of the level that has the most opportunity to feel like a complete badass, in my opinion, especially after you get through these two guys who do have quite a bit of life. They're not Sean disciples, but they are better fighters than your typical fighter, with a little bit more life. So I come in with a knife from that Downpour room, and then I get that super special knife that is ruthless. It's just a ruthless knife. Like, look how much damage it does with each swipe. Good block. And you can see, you know, one of my other, that was not great. One of my other tips from the tips part of the video is, you know, just like keeping one eye on the person whose ass you're kicking, and then another on the other people around there, because you can almost always see which fighter is about to come at you because they start creeping. They start moving a little bit towards you or wind up. And even if you can find that split second, it will help you maybe dodge, avoid, get out of the way, etc. Oh, very satisfying. And just aesthetically, I mean, how cool. I mean, it's just very cool. Ooh, that one gets me every time. It just looks like not a great way to go. You know, knife to the belly? Ooh, not for me. Not for me. I prefer to go in a vat of peanut butter cups, surrounded by people I love. But yeah, I didn't take a hit in that whole exchange just there. All right, so again, this next guy, ton of life. You got to milk him for all he's worth. I'm saying that way too much. But yeah, typically I go in here and I just one time stab him and call it quits. But I'm definitely not going to keep my multiplier up the whole time. He's a tough fighter. He's like a level up from a Sean's disciple, but has mostly Sean disciples rooms. Plus, this is like the bodyguard guy from the next level. The tower, right? One of the first guys you come up against, and then there's at least one or two in the sanctuary as well. But they're tough fighters. They're tough fighters because they grab you and knee you in the face. They have some moves plenty of moves you can't block. This next section, which I was always so glad to avoid with the shortcut, of course you cannot in this playthrough. You can see in this video that I pretty much know at this point which fighters are sort of mannequins and which are live action heroes trying to end me. And if you get to them fast enough, you can sneak attack them, which is one hit and then take down. But as you know at this point, that's not what we want to do. We want to keep them alive, milk out their points, and then send them packing, so to speak. Send them packing. Send them packing. Ooh, so I did, yeah, I snuck attack that. I shouldn't have done that. I should just like gingerly walk through this section and try and lure out. Maybe I'm trying to do that now. I've clearly forgotten what direction I'm going in and also who are the people that are fighting. So yeah, I didn't try and sort of sneak attack and take down any of these folks. I just want them to be alive. But I do have my knife still, which is kind of nice. I don't typically because I've stabbed someone at this point. But I am going to take this staff because I like it a little bit more than the knife because of like range, basically. This fight was never my favorite, mostly because I don't want to go up. I just don't want to be around people who have blades for shoes. Like, if I see someone with blades for shoes, I'm going to like, I don't want to F with this person. I assume you have blades on your shoes because you're trying to hurt someone. That's what blades on the shoes tells me. But here we are. Doing my best not to get my butt kicked. That's really what this is. The fact that I have any ×3 multiplier for any of that fight is just a real gift, because typically they kick my butt. And there we are, 17,000, what was it? It'll show up again here. 17 freaking thousand. 937. So I did not like, this is like not the most impressive score on YouTube by any stretch of the imagination. So check out some other videos. Hopefully this one helped me. I hope it helps me. Hopefully it helped you. My hope is that you will like and subscribe, that you will follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I am doing my damnedest right now to try and get 1,000 subscribers so I can start making money, 50% of which will go to a charity that we choose as a subscriber community. So what that means for you, like if I get 10 grand over the course of a year for my YouTube videos, 5,000 goes to charity, y'all. So the more subscribers, the more money, the more to charity. Peace.